Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope that you're chilling today and having a good morning. Good morning, James Love. Good morning to all my bushwatchers because I know y'all some busy people. I know y'all busy, busy, busy bees. Um, this morning, I'm sitting here waking up. My neck feels better than it did the last 2 days, and I did talk to my doctor about that when I went for my checkup yesterday. And he said, yeah, I was probably right about that situation. Um, that's what it seems like. I pulled a muscle pretty much, and that it would heal in a couple of days. So I was right about that, you know. Um, he seemed, I had fun. I made my doctor laugh yesterday, like really butt gusting laugh, because I was like, I didn't know stretching was super dangerous. Like when you get older, I didn't know stretching would get you like that. And I said, well, shoot, that ain't supposed to hit me till I'm, closer to my 50s. I'm only fisting to be 38, so I'm not 40 yet. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was supposed to be a little bit older. He goes, well, you do have that neck condition and that back condition, so it's going to hit you a little bit sooner than it does others. I'm like, yay. Um, I don't know if I've ever told y'all because it's Wellness Wednesday. But I do have degenerative disc disease, and in my neck I do have bursitis and bulging and disc and all that in my neck, and it was from a wreck when I was 15. So it was not of my choice, right? Not of my choice. Most people's it's not of their choice. A lot of pain conditions, it's not of your choice. A lot of conditions like that, it's not of your choice. You worked hard all your life, all these things. Mine came from when I was 15 years old. I was in a bus accident. And then again in another accident 1 year later when I was 16 in a whole new school district. Because I had moved where I'm originally from to where well, I moved a little bit all over when I was a kid. So, you know, um, that's a thing that happens. But yeah, so in two different school districts, crazy, right? I know. That's why I tell people who have like small kids, be careful with buses. They're extremely dangerous. We were stopped, and the dude was not paying attention and hit the bus going 85 in a 45. Um, Very lucky his, believe it or not, y'all not gonna believe this, but buses are like mini tanks in a way. The back of the bus really didn't have a dent on it, which is crazy. But the whole front end of that box truck, it was a box truck, was busted to hell and back. It was leaking fluid everywhere. I thought it was going to blow up, y'all. I really did. I was like, I ain't ready for all this. It was leaking fluids everywhere. I mean, he hit it hard enough that he smashed the entirety of the front of where the motor is and everything, and all the liquids were coming out, the antifreeze, the water. It was crazy. Um, and I feel I wonder about the two kids that got off before me that were standing because we were stopped at their stop. All right, I wonder if they're okay because they were in the doorway of the bus when it got hit. I was standing, I was moving to the front because that's the only time you're allowed to move on the bus is when it stopped. And so my stop was the next one, so I was moving to the front, and I stepped halfway in between the seat because the little girl had accidentally dropped her backpack and stuff had spilled out. So she was getting all her stuff. And so when she came by me, because I had done made it in front of her, I stepped halfway into the seat and was standing right there, fisting to step back out and get into the aisle and walk forward. And because I wasn't too far from the front at this point, because where he hit is where I normally sat. Because I was a high schooler, so I sat in the very back of the bus, right? And I was moving to the front and whatnot, and she was standing right there where the first step is. Her brother was standing right where the door is. Like, so he was standing in the door waiting on his sister so he could walk her across the street. Being a big brother, he was doing the right thing when we got hit. So he got hit by the door and slung into the ditch. And the little girl went down the steps, fell all the way down the steps from the top step all the way to the bottom. So I wonder in my mind if they had any lasting effects from that wreck. You know what I'm saying? There, my hit was I hit the back of the seat with my neck, and then ping pong between the seats, and it really caused a lot of back condition, neck condition. That's why I didn't realize this at the time, but I wanted to. I always had dreams of being a Marine, and I realized, at a certain point, I wouldn't be able to pass the physical to be able to be a Marine because of the neck condition and the back condition from the wreck that I had. Could you imagine that? Like, you want to go do these things and you can't? Kind of sucks, especially when it's not even your fault and you did nothing wrong. But you have to deal with the repercussions of someone else's actions, right? I think Marines are amazing. I've always had a thing for. I wanted to go into the Marines for specific reasons, or the Army. There's a reason why. I wanted to be a specialist, and I think that they have some Army specialists and the Marine specialists have some of the better, in my opinion. This is just my personal opinion. Things to go into that were more of what I wanted to do. Um, I wanted to be in that section of the things. I wanted to be in the war room. I wanted to be an analyst. I wanted, so much other things. But I will say that I'm not sure what specialists they have in the Navy. And well, I could have went to the Air Force also. Here's the thing: you have to take specific tests in order to get into certain fields and certain things in the military. I believe that I could have passed that test because I was an A and B honor roll student my entire going to high school. All through school, I was in advanced classes, always above and beyond, even with my ADHD. Uh, and I probably would have been a straight A student if I didn't have ADHD, just to tell you the truth. But on this Wellness Wednesday, I'm sitting here trying to, you know, I was at my doctor's office when I was there. They had those cards, and y'all know on Wellness Wednesdays when we talk about mental health and mental health awareness, I have the banner sometimes running with this right here on there. 988. They actually had printed cards and posters at my doctor's office this time that had that. I was like, that's super cool that, I started doing that when it first came out, 988. And it's super cool that they're now starting to put it up in medical places. But 988 is what you can contact if you're having a mental health crisis. And they will get you with a counselor and whatnot, regardless of where you're at in the United States of America. Anywhere in the United States of America, whether you're in Alaska, Hawaii, no matter what state you're in, if you are having a mental health crisis in the United States of America, 988. Now, if you're in another country, there are specific, you can Google it, you know, crisis lines in y'all's areas, depending on what part of, the world you're in. And if you are in another part of the world and would like to know your crisis center, uh, tell me what part of the world you're in, and I will make sure to look up that specific crisis number and show it to you. I've done it once before on the show. There is a website that has a list of all of the crisis numbers that are in New Zealand, Australia, so on and so forth, Great Britain, um, you know, South America. Uh, there's a website that literally has numbers on it for all of those places. Now, I know that there might be some places in the world where maybe they don't have that. In that case, I would suggest if you're having a mental health crisis, to reach out to someone that you trust, someone that has your best interests at heart, that loves you for you. Um, and let's say you don't want to talk to a stranger. Let's say, let's say that's the thing. Everybody knows they have at least one person in their life that they can trust, that they love, that they care about. I would say reach out to them. Someone who has your best interests at heart. Because that's going to be a big thing, right? I was sitting there this morning. Um, just chilling, thinking about things. I saw also, what was that I saw in the news the other day? It was something about oh, what was it? Oh my God, they're coming out with it. Okay, I just checked my news break because sometimes I do that. On my news break this morning, I see Dr. Pepper is coming back with a fan favorite, and I got to see what it is. It's a fan favorite flavor. Oh, they're coming back with the vanilla float. The Dr. Pepper vanilla float. For those of y'all who like the vanilla flavor of Dr. Pepper, they're coming back with that flavoring, just to let you know. In addition to launching several new flavors, Dr. Pepper has also branched out to other products. In 2023, the company launched its Dr. Pepper Float ice cream in collaboration with Bluebell, a mixture of vanilla ice cream and Dr. Pepper flavored sherbet. The sweet treat was available at various retailers through 2024. Dr. Pepper's popularity has only continued to rise in recent years. In 2023, the brand rose up through the ranks and was tied with Pepsi as America's second favorite soda, behind Coca Cola at number one. Pepsi has held the second place spot for nearly 4 decades, according to the Wall Street Journal. But a recent flurry of activity on TikTok, including several trends like the Dirty Dr. Pepper or the Pickle Dr. Pepper, has given way for Dr. Pepper's rise to the top. I will say that I think it's more so Diet Coke that is more popular than regular Coke, in my opinion, because of a lot of people. When they choose a diet drink, most people will say Diet Coke's more readily available. Not that they love it more, because most people actually, what I've seen, enjoy the zero sugars. Or, if you had like to choose a diet drink, and this goes for my replay gang too, y'all can leave it in the comments. What would be your diet drink of choice? Me, myself, and I would probably go for the zero sugar version. Now, I've tried Diet Dr. Pepper, Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, and Diet Mountain Dew. Now, I will say I don't really care for diet drinks per se, right? Because of the aspartame. So I like the zero sugars. Um, but if I had to choose one, I would probably still go with Dr. Pepper, because or Diet Mountain Dew is not that bad. Diet Mountain Dew is not that bad. Now, years ago when Diet Mountain Dew first came out, it was awful. Oh yeah, the zero sugar Mountain Dew Baja Blast is actually really good. And I like the zero sugars above the diet drinks, but I'm not huge into the diets. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, they have a weird aftertaste, and it leaves like this film on your tongue, and you can taste it, and I don't like that. But I've heard a lot of diabetics say that that you get used to it, that you don't pay attention to it no more. I don't know. I can taste it. It just is to me a bad flavoring, but I would prefer the zero sugars over the diet. That's another thing. Would you prefer the diet or the zero sugar? Because some people prefer the diet, some people prefer the zero sugars. I like the zero sugars best because to me they don't have a weird aftertaste. I think it's the aspartame in diet drinks that I don't like. I don't like aspartame. And also, aspartame is really not that good for you. So, if you are drinking diet drinks like their water, please note that that's not really good for your kidneys. Yeah. So, just be careful with the diet drinks in general and anything containing aspartame. Be careful with aspartame itself. It's not the diet drinks, so it's the aspartame. Let's see. We had. Oh, somebody was doing Dark Horse Press News is missing Jeff Harmon, Monroe County. Now I know about this story, and there's some things that this story is really old. I'll tell you that It happened before I was born, but I could tell you some things about this story. The last known anyone knew of Monroe County resident Jeff Harmon might have been going to buy a used car with some money he had gotten in a lawsuit against a former employer on June 29th, 1985. It wasn't just any lawsuit, though. It was because Harmon, 23, had been hazed and assaulted during his work for the company and had originally sued for $50,000. His family said at the time that people were threatening him because of the suit and that he had been afraid to go out in public, thinking that it would end. He had agreed to settle for $3,000. Authorities said the last person known to have seen Harmon alive, told them he had dropped off in Becker, Mississippi, where they had met a man in a blue pickup truck. Harmon had gotten into the truck to ride with him to get the car, and they drove away. Police say they weren't sure if Harmon was meeting the still unidentified man to buy the used car, if they even knew each other. Harmon has not been seen or heard from since. In 2009, a man named James Rodney Mills confessed to allegedly helping dispose of Harmon's body, but said he wasn't responsible for his murder. He said that he buried Harmon in a freshly dug grave at Willis Cemetery, which was about 300 yards from his home. Police showed him a photo of the cemetery, and Mills picked out a grave, but Harmon's body wasn't found there. Mills has not been charged in his participation in Harmon's murder, but he maintains that his story is true. It is unclear if he ever gave up his co-conspirators. Harmon went missing from Aberdeen, Mississippi. He was 5'11" tall and weighed at the time is unknown. Jeff Harmon had blonde hair. Harmon's case is considered a homicide but has never been located. The case is still unsolved. If you know anything about what happened to Jeff Harmon, contact the Monroe County Sheriff's Office at 662-369-2468. Now, hey, Mr. Maddie, good morning. Hey, Zion Movements, good morning. Now, the Jeff Harmon, there were rumors in where I'm originally from about Jeff Harmon's case. And the rumors were that my mom's ex-husband, that she's no longer with, and he has since passed away, and he was a bad man, that he had something to do with it. And they say that he was buried in some kind of foundation or some kind of like, what do you call that? Like you know where shoot fireplace or something like that. That is the hey, Decapitator Trolls, what's up? Hey, Mr. Chris. But they say that's the rumor, that it had some, or there was another dude's name that was also said that it might have been over a drug deal. I'm not sure. Obviously I wasn't there. I wasn't even born yet. That was in 1985. I wasn't even alive at that time at all. But there's been rumors about that for years of what happened to the Harmon boy. There have been rumors. You know how rumors are, though. You don't know if they're true or not. But you really don't know if they're true or not. So I have no idea. I wasn't alive at that point in time in life. And technically my oldest sibling was, let's see, like 2 or 3 years old, something like that. But there's all kind of rumors about that case. It's sad that nobody truly knows what happened, and most of the people who had anything to do with it are already passed away or gone from this earth. And I believe his family, his parents have already passed away and stuff. You know, that's a sad situation. There's always rumors about stuff like that when it happens. So in a small town, you know, oh, I think such and such had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? When really nobody knows but the people that was there. Nobody really knows but the people that were there. You know what I mean? My mom had already left the dude, but we heard it through the grapevine that they were thinking of him as a suspect. My mom didn't stay with him for entirely too long, and then it wasn't too long after that, actually about a year later, that my mom and dad got together and then had me. So, you know, nobody really liked that guy and his family, so I don't know. Well, some of his family was like, some of them wasn't. You know how that goes. I'm not talking about the Harmon boy. I'm talking about the person that may be suspected. But there's a lot of people. There was actually 2 or 3 people that were suspected back in those days. Um, there's rumors that he might have been buried in a field. There was another rumor that um, somebody threw him somewhere or something. There was all kind of rumors about that situation when it went down. That's what also like with the Leochi case that happened in Tupelo, Mississippi. There's rumors about that one. But how are y'all doing this morning? How you doing, Mr. Maddie? Hey, Zion, how you doing? Mr. Chris, how you doing? Y'all had a good day yesterday. Y'all gonna have a good day today. Anybody got anything planned amazingly today? Um, you know what I'm saying? Happy hump day. I hope everybody humps and has fun. How's everybody gonna, what y'all's plans for the next few days? Y'all have anything good going on? Now, Mr. Chris, when are you and Miss Harlow, thinking about doing the thing, and the thing and the thing, moving in and all that good lovely stuff? Do y'all have y'all's timeline, you know, put out that y'all thinking about? I will say that I think that long distance does work, but it does like get a little after a while, like you just want the person there, if that makes sense. And I will say it will be different living together versus being separate. But y'all will get, if y'all know how to work shit out, y'all be okay. Just remember one simple key. Yeah, I know. See, that's what I'm saying. It kind of gets to being like, I don't want them so far away anymore, if that makes sense. But um, as long as y'all always remember to keep communication and keep it to be key, that's all that matters, right? Keep your communication completely open. Me and my husband met through a friend group that we had had for 10 years, and we were best friends before we ever decided to ever take it to the next level or anything. You got to be best friends. You got to know each other on a level and build a foundation and do all those things. You got to make sure you have good communication. So I'm very grateful for the fact that we always had great communication. We still do to this day. We don't really fight. If we do have a disagreement, it's usually we agree to disagree because there's some things that obviously you're never going to agree on. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that you're just not. It's not gonna, you know. I visit check my sons. I'm giving them time. The reason I'm giving a little time, I was gonna call yesterday about some of his results, was because I realized they had a 5-day weekend. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like mayo. I hate mayo. You love it. Um but they had a 5-day weekend, and I'm pretty sure that the where they sent this off to may take longer to get it back because of that. I realize of Memorial Day. So I don't want to hound them when it's not in. Now the fibro scan did come back. The thing that I paid for. It did come back. We got I got a message about that yesterday. It didn't show any fibrosis, which is scarring, so that's a good thing. Hey, Mr. JB, you can keep your mayonnaise. I am no, I hate mayonnaise. If you put mayonnaise on my food, we're gonna have a problem. Oh my god, do you know how sucky that is though? When most burgers come with mayonnaise, and you tell them no mayo, and they still put a big ass glob of mayo on there. Oh my god. You can keep your mayo, Mr. Matty. I ain't no. You just give me my mustard, my ketchup. I'm good. Or even an aioli, a garlic aioli. I'm good with that. I just can't stand mayonnaise by itself. Like a lot of aiolis are made out of the same thing that mayonnaise is made out of, but it has flavoring. It has something. It's not as like greasy textured. For some reason, to me, um, well, I've asked him if he wanted one. He didn't really want one. I've asked Mr. Maddie. I don't like Miracle Whip. I don't like mayonnaise, and it's because to me it tastes like it has no flavoring and it tastes greasy. It tastes like there's a film with it. I don't know how to explain it to other people. It's like this. I get like this texture on my tongue. It's awful. I don't know about y'all, but I can't do it. I thought they were going to repeat my blood work yesterday when I went to the doctor, but they didn't. So I guess they'll do it next time. I don't know. I don't know. I talked to them, whatnot, and everything, but they'll probably repeat it next time I go, which will be in, I get my checkup every few months and whatnot. Yeah, I'm a chocolate fan. He's not really. He's not really got a big sweet tooth, but I do. On the other hand, um, he's more of a fruit candy type person, and I'm more of a give me all the chocolate. So yeah, there's that also. See, before you even typed it in chat, I already said it. Oh, now I love me some good Starburst. And Sour Patch Kids. I love Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids are good. I love sour candies too. Like I'm huge in. When I was little, I loved Warheads. I loved anything that was in that realm. Anything in the sour candy part. Ooh, I love sour candy. And I found, uh, I found that one of my cousins can't eat vinegar. They're like allergic to it. And so I was making the suggestion. I thought about this, right? So if you can't have vinegar, you can't eat pickles, right? Because pickles are put up in vinegar and pickling salts, right? And they're put up with dill to make them dill sour pickles, right? So I was thinking, okay, if you put them up and use melodextrose, which is used, I think it's melodextrose, it's something like that to make the like sour candy. I wonder if you could make like a pickle-ish thing with without having to use vinegar. If you used dill and the souring thing that they use for candies in the pickles, with the cucumber to try to make it pickle, kind of like a pickle. It's not going to be exactly right, but I was wondering if that was a thing. I need to look that up for her. Maybe I could find a recipe. Um, can you make pickles without vinegar? Oh, they do. They do. They do. They do have a recipe for that. Um, so fermented pickles, the best old fashioned dill pickles. So they do have it without vinegar. I need to give her this recipe because maybe she could still have her pickles, and so she'll just have to use water and salt. It says, and add the flavor enhancers to the brine. So you just basically brine the cucumbers instead of using vinegar. And consider adding garlic, dill, peppercorns, and other herbs and spices to the brine to infuse your pickles with additional layers of flavors. Patience is key. During the fermentation process, it is important to be patient. The length of time required for the vegetables pickle without vinegar will vary depending on the factors such as the ambient temperature and the specific vegetables being used. As a general guideline, most pickles will be ready to eat within 1 or 2 weeks. So it just takes a little bit longer without the vinegar. Okay, I need to send her this. Maybe she'd like that. You can do it with dill pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, carrot sticks, radishes, jalapenos, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. You just have to brine it more. Like with the brine, it's just salt and water, right? It's just salt water. She just has to use salt water instead of vinegar. Yeah, the person's allergic to vinegar, Miss Catherine. Good morning, Miss Catherine, also. Yeah, so I just looked that up. I didn't know, you know, what way to do it, but now that I'll be able to tell her instead of doing vinegar, you do. You could do a brine. So I'll tell her how to do that. Like I found an exact recipe for her, so she can make her own pickles. How's your day been, Miss Catherine? I know that some of y'all been swinging and banging on these streets. I've been seeing it. Y'all know I don't beef, and I'm not in the beef. Even though I'm around. I've been like y'all been swinging and banging. Y'all been swinging and banging. Also, I saw over there. What was I looking at? I was looking at something on Bears and Cigars channel. What was it that I was seeing on their channel? I can't remember now. I got to go back and look. Y'all know I have bad memory. That one doctor was asking me a question. I'm like, you asked me something. I can't remember. You know what I'm saying? I have bad memory. We all know this. Let me go to um and see. I saw it yesterday. Can't remember what it was now. I've been missing some of the things in the different sectors, of YouTube land. Um, what was it? Oh yeah, something about Piggy was trying to get Parasite Slayer to do some kind of debate or something, and why not have it on an even playing field? If they didn't want to use Eric Foss's channel, they could so use mine because here's the thing. I wouldn't allow people to talk over each other, and I'm not going to drop anybody or lower anybody's mic or let anybody raise theirs up. You know what I'm saying? I would be willing to be a person that they could debate on my channel because I don't have a dog in the fight and I don't hate nobody, right? I was just saying. I'm a what do you call it? Third party? Oh, really? 47 passed a bill putting a ban on negative commentary the other day. How are they going to take that? That's taking away freedom of speech, though. Like, what kind of negative commentary? I'm with the Mr. JB. Let me look this up. Uh, 47, 47 passed. Um, Let me Google this, y'all. A bill on negative commentary. Because here's the thing that takes away people's freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? This is in California. Okay, it's in Proposition 47's impact on California's criminal justice system. Okay, let's go over this. This is from the Georgetown Journal. Okay, I'm going to present screen. I'm going to share screen. And I'm going to go over here. And now, when I go over here and read this, I won't be able to see the chat per se, y'all know, because I'll be reading directly from the thing. But as soon as I read it, I'll be right back. So I'm going to read it right now. Georgetown Journal on poverty law and policy. Backlash against Proposition 47 and why the criticism of California's criminal justice reform is misguided. Let's see what this says. Now, this is something else. Uh, do you know what state 47 proposition was in? Um, yeah, this is something total different right here. Hold on just a minute, y'all. I gotta take my question is the negative commentary towards him? That's taken away from freedom of speech, though. Here's the thing: someone could review, talking about a show of mine, and review it and have negative commentary, and that's their right. You know what I'm saying? That's their right to do so. They can have positive feedback or negative feedback, and that's just straight up wrong. You know what I'm saying? I seen it on a thing right here. Hold on. Let's see. It's right here. Let me see. It says tax bill every time I go to click on it, though. So that uh because it's showing in the thing right here. Hold on. Uh, let me try it. Yeah, it's not showing up um for some reason. But I tried. I tried. Oh, the Take It Down Act. Now, I've heard something about that. That's different. The Take It Down Act is about oods and things like that. The Take It Down bill actually has to deal with children. And a person whose child passed away, actually is the reason this bill got passed. This has nothing to do with him per se. If you actually even know about the Take It Down bill, um, it was actually started because of a family who lost their child. It's about AI Orn, and it's about revenge Orn. It's about there was a kid that passed away. Um, and the kid, was a young boy. He was a football player. Okay. And he absolutely unalived himself because of things put on the internet about him. It was actually put on. It's more so the take it down bill, um, is where parents can get, um, doxing, and different, and anything that has to do with children taken down if the person is a minor. If it's involving adults, it said, except as provided in the subparagraph C, it shall be unlawful for any person in interstate or foreign commerce to use any interactive computer service to knowingly publish an intimate visual depicting of an identifiable individual who is not a minor, if the intimate visual depiction was obtained or created under circumstances in which the person knew or reasonably should have known the identifiable individual had a reasonable expectation of privacy. What is depicted was not voluntary, exposed by identifiable individual in a public or commercial setting, was is depicted as a matter of public concern. Publication of the intimate visual depiction is intended to cause harm or cause harm, including psychological, financial, or reputational harm. This actually was put together because of the people. The Take It Down law was actually put into place because of a child that someone had their oods and was trying to blackmail them about it and spreading their nudes around school, and the kid unalived themselves. This bill was actually put into place to protect people from revenge porn. Technically, it was put into that, especially if it involves minors. Also, they have put in more in place for people to abuse, humiliate, harass, or degrade a minor. It says any intimate visual depiction of an identifiable individual who is a minor with the intent to arouse or gratify or anything like that. Basically, this um, is a disclosure. It is basically that if in case if you're an adult and you're found to do this, you shall be fined under Title 18 U.S. Code and imprisoned for no more than 2 years or both. Offense involving minors. If you're a minor and you do this, you shall be fined under Title 18 United States Code and imprisoned not more than 3 years or both. So what they're trying to stop with this is intimate, non-consensual depictions of someone. So it's basically a new bill defining revenge porn. Pretty much. That's what the Take It Down law is. So I don't know who reported on the Take It Down law, but the Take It Down law is about revenge porn. It's intimate visual depictions. I can show you the exact bill right now. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me present screen and show you. This is the Take It Down. Take It Down does not have to deal with I don't know. I don't know who said that it was on negative commentary. It's not on negative commentary. This is the actual bill right here. And I remember when it was being pushed by the parents of the kid who passed away. It's literally for non-consensual intimate images. It's called the Take It Down Act. It's about deep fakes. It's about even if you're an adult and someone is making up intimate images of you, or if you're a minor, that this is a way that you can get it taken down off the internet. If anybody puts it on the internet for any amount of reason, and that any website who allows it can actually get in deep trouble about it. Yeah, that's not a negative commentary bill. That bill is quite literally for revenge porn or spreading someone's nudes online. Not only will the person who does it be held responsible, but any website who does not take it down will be held responsible. Because there was a child, it was a young boy, he was a football star, all this other stuff, who unalived himself because of it. And the parents of this child actually pushed for this bill to go into place. The Take It Down law was not about negative commentary. So if they said that, they're wrong. Because the 118th Congress Second Session S 4569, you can look up this bill yourself, in the Senate of the United States, a bill, and it says the short title, the Take It Down Act, tools to address non-exploitation by mobilizing technology, deepfakes on websites and networks act, or Take It Down Act. It's a criminal prohibition on international disclosures of non-consensual intimate visual depictions. So this was actually put up because of a child unaliving himself because someone spread his nudes all over school, and the websites refused to take it down. So the parents went through after their child unalived himself, to get this bill put into place to protect people from revenge porn, so that it would make it more of a federal crime. So yeah, it says consent, deepfake, if you can identify yourself, intimate images, depictions of anything in that matter. That's what this bill was passed for. The Take It Down Act. It's to make websites take down revenge porn. Here is the if you want to look up this bill that was passed, I'm gonna copy this right here. This is the bill itself. Let me paste that right quick for y'all. let me see what it's showing on here. Okay, it is showing the website or whatnot. Let me scroll down to show you the bill itself. And let me see if I can make myself small so maybe y'all could read that better. That's the name of the bill. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Cancel. I want to go here and go here. Not that one. That one. This bill, the Take It Down Act, was specifically created because of a young man who unalived himself. He was like his parents pushed for the Take It Down Act. It's basically for real and deep fake revenge porn. Basically. And President Trump did sign off on it, but maybe they got the wrong bill name. Because that's not that's not that's not a thing. And whoever keeps spreading that information about the Take It Down bill, they are wrong. Some websites are trying to say that the Take It Down bill is about freedom of speech. It is not. It is not about freedom of speech. That bill specifically was put up and in place for a person who unalived themselves. I'm sitting here looking at one of the web sites that are saying Congress passes Take It Down Act despite major flaws. I do see that people are saying it's about lawful speech, but it's not about lawful speech. So whoever's reporting that and is saying that you can use it to censor people, no, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with revenge porn. It has nothing to do with freedom of speech. So I don't know who's saying that. I'll read the entire bill if you would like me to. But this bill has nothing to do with freedom of speech. This bill has to do with people posting people's deep fakes or having to post non-consensual images of a person or a child. This bill was created by parents whose child unalived themselves because that child's nudes were sent around school, and someone was trying to a person from overseas was trying to use non-consensual images against a kid, and he unalived himself because of that. So I don't know what content creator is saying that, but no, that is not what this bill is about at all. So we're going to read this bill so we can clear up that misconception. It says, this act may be cited as the tools to address known exploitation by mobilizing technology, deepfakes on websites and networks act, or the Take It Down Act. Section 2, criminal prohibition of international disclosure of non-consensual intimate visual depictions. A, in general, Section 223 of the Communication Act of 1934 is amended by 1, by redesigning subsection H and subsection I, and by inserting after subsection G the following. This is where they amended it. International disclosure of non-consensual intimate and visual depictions. 1, definition in this subsection. Consent. The term consent means an affirmative, conscious, and voluntary authorization made by an individual free from force, fraud, duress, misrepresentation, or coercion. Deepfakes. The term deepfake means a video or image that is general or substantially modified using machine learning technologies or by any other computer generated or machine generated means to falsely depict an individual's appearance or conduct within an intimate visual depiction. Identifiable individual. In general, the term identifiable individual means an individual, one, who appears in whole or in part in the intimate visual depiction, and two, whose face, likeness, or other distinguished characteristics, including a unique birthmark or other recognizable features, in display in connection with such intimate visual depictions. Two, appears for purposes of clause I of the individual appears in the intimate visual depiction if the individual is actually the individual identified in the intimate visual or depiction, or two, a deep fake of the individual is used in realistic depiction of depict the individual such as a reasonable person would believe the individual is actually depicted in the image or visual depiction. Interactive computer services. The term interactive computer services has the meaning given to the term in Section 230. Intimate visual depiction. The term intimate visual depiction has the meaning given such a term in Section 1309 of the Consolidated Appropriation Act 2022. Minor. The term minor means individual under the age of 18. Offense involving adults, except as provided in subparagraph C. It shall be unlawful for any person in the interstate or foreign commerce to use an interactive computer service to knowingly publish an intimate visual depiction of the identified individual who is not a minor if the intimate visual depiction was obtained or created under circumstances in which the person knew or reasonably should have known the identifiable individual had a reasonable expectation of privacy. What is depicted was not voluntarily exposed by the identifiable individual in a public or commercial setting. What is depicted is not a matter of public concern, and publication of the intimate visual depiction, it is intended to cause harm, including psychological, financial, or reputational harm to the identifiable individual. Involving minors, except for or provided by Paragraph C, it shall be unlawful for any person in the interstate or foreign commerce to use an interactive computer service to knowingly publish an intimate visual depiction of an identifiable individual who is a minor with the intent to abuse, humiliate, harass, or degrade the minor, or arouse or gratify the sexual desire of any person. Exceptions. Subparagraph A and B shall not apply to a lawful authorized investigative, protective, or intelligence activity of law enforcement agencies of the United States, a state, a political subdivision of a state, or an intelligence agency of the United States. A disclosure is made reasonably and in good faith to law enforcement officer or agency as part of a document production or filing associated with legal proceedings, as part of medical education's diagnosis or treatment, or for the legitimate medical, scientific, or educational purposes, or in the reporting of unlawful content or unsolicited or unwelcome conduct, or in pursuance of a legal, professional, or other lawful obligation, or to seek support to help with respect to the recipient of an unsolicited intimate visual. I'm glad they did put that in there for people who didn't ask for that, and it's being sent to them, because nobody wants to get charged for something and when you didn't ask for it, and people are trying to go, oh my god, you got something, so now you're blah blah blah. No, so if a person does not is a recipient of unsolicited intimate images, their responsibility as the is to delete that, right? A disclosure reasonable intended to assist the identified individual or in person who possesses or publishes an intimate visual depiction of himself or herself engaged in nudity or sexual explicit conduct, as the term is defined in Section 2256 2A of Title 18 United States Code. The penalties for this: offenses involving adults. Any person who violates paragraph A, 2A shall be fined under Title 18 United States Code in prison in more than 2 years or both. Offenses involving minors. Any person who violates paragraph 2B shall be fined under Title 18 United States Code and in prison for more than 3 years or both. Rules of construction. For purposes of paragraph 2, A, the fact that the unidentifiable individual provided consent for the creation of the intimate visual depiction shall not establish that the individual provided consent for the publication of the intimate visual depiction, and B, the fact that the identifiable individual discloses the intimate visual depiction to another individual shall not establish that the identifiable individual provided consent for the publication of the intimate visual depiction by the person alleged to have violated paragraph 2. Threats. Any person who intentionally threatens to commit an offense under paragraph 2 for the purpose of intimidation, coercion, extortion, or to create mental distress shall be punished as provided in paragraph 3. Forfeiture. In general, the court is imposing a sentence on any person convicted of the violation of Paragraph 2 shall order, in addition to any other sentence imposed in introspective of any provision of state law, that the person forfeit to the United States any material distributed in violation of the paragraph, the person's interest in property, real or personal, constituting or derived from any gross proceeds of the violation, or any property traceable to such property, obtained or retained directly or indirectly as a result of the violation, and any person's property or the person used or intended to be used in any manner or part to commit or to facilitate the commission of the violation. Procedures. Hold on, y'all. I got a call coming in. Why can't I? What's going on? Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so but basically, this is just for anybody who, and I could keep going, but this is basically they'll do notices and removals for the non-consensual images. And let's say a website does not take, it says a covered platform shall not be liable for any claim based on the covered platform's good faith of disabling or access or removal of material claimed to be non-consensual intimate visual depiction based on the facts of circumstances for which the unlawful publishing of an intimate visual depiction is apparent, regardless of whether the intimate visual depiction is ultimately determined to be unlawful or not. So, they, upon receiving a valid removal request from an identifiable individual or an authorized representative of such individual, using the process described in paragraph 1A2, a covered platform shall remove the intimate visual depiction and make reasonable effort to remove any identical copies of such depiction as soon as possible, but no later than 48 hours after receiving such request. So basically, they're trying to not only crack down on the individuals who are posting it, but websites when they don't take it down and they're asked to take it down. So the websites like YouTube, people have posted people's revenge on here, right? And some of those were said to be non-consensual. Now, technically, with this bill being being passed, not only could the individual get in trouble for it, but also the website if the website doesn't take it down. Now, the website can't be held responsible if they take it down within 48 hours, but they could if they don't take it down. So they're making it more stricter for revenge porn, and for anybody who's using someone's nudie pictures to go after them. So nudes now, whether the person gave another person those nudes consensually, if they're not public property, and even if they are public property and you're using nudes to harass, humiliate, degrade a person, abuse a person with it, they can now, you can face criminal charges for doing that. Which revenge porn always had it, but it was a state by state basis. Now it's a federal crime too, on top of that, because there's a bill in federal law. You get what I'm saying? Like, it used to be a state by state thing, and each state had different things. But now, if you are caught distributing and doing that for harassment or whatnot, or any other thing for deep fakes, even deep fakes, like, the AI generated ones, even for AI generated revenge porn, you can absolutely, and if it depicts the person, it looks like the person in any way, shape, or form, you claiming it's them, right? And if it's any way identifiable to the person, they can literally now criminally charge you for that. They're being stricter on this. And actually, if you look it up, right? If you look it up, the young man who this happened to, his parents actually are the reason that this bill went into, which is awesome, because his parents, like, could you imagine your kid was being, let me see if I can find the parents and the story behind it so y'all can know. Because it's actually a story that this young man, passed away because of someone threatening to do things and harassing him. And it was a full story. He was a football player. I remember that much. He was a young man, and he passed away. I wonder if I can find the actual story behind it, because I remember seeing the story. And they came up with that bill, to protect kids more than anything. It does involve adults too, but it was mainly passed because there was this thing where scammers were going around getting pictures of kids and then threatening them with exposure if they didn't pay them money. Yeah, there was a whole thing of that. I don't know if y'all know that. I want to know if I could find the yeah, it was a sextortion thing. And a lot of the parents, let me see if I can find the actual, I'm trying to find the actual story. Because there was a young man um, who passed away because of the deep fakes. He unalived himself. Let me see. Scheme. Um, if I can find the exact story, I can't remember the name of it. Um, because there was an actual young man that this story um came into effect because of, and they are like really breaking down on this because a lot of children um have unalived themselves because of this stuff. There was a guy earlier this month, Alexander McCartney, a prophilic pedo in Northern Ireland, was given a life sentence for the predatory actions against children, carrying a mandatory minimum of 20 years in jail. McCartney would pose as a 13-year-old girl, befriend girls online, and ask for their pictures. He kept records of their Snapchat location. Over time, he had blackmailed them for more extreme images, and he would coerce the children to take explicit pictures of themselves, sometimes with younger siblings, pets, objects. He also shared those pictures with other pedos. One of the most prolific pedos, McCartney reported targeted around 3,500 children in more than 30 countries, ages 10 to 16. His arrest included 50 blackmail offenses, and most heartbreaking, he pled guilty to the manslaughter of Cameron Thomas, a 12-year-old girl he had abused online. She took her own life in 2018 after she refused to take pictures of her younger sister. Sextortion is a serious and mortal danger to our kids. That's why they started this Take It Down Act, was also to get things taken down off the internet because they had a problem with some of these sites not wanting to take down the images. They were being spread through the internet on images of kids. This act was mainly proposed for that purpose. And the I wish, I'm trying to find the story though of the who who came up with the Take It Down bill, because they've been trying to get this passed actually for a little while now. I'm actually trying to find the parents. They had the Take It Down Act. Um, this is on Wikipedia right here. I'm trying to see because um, it was actually okay. It was in Aldo, Texas. High school students were subjected to sexual harassment when another student had taken seemingly innocent photos of them, but then posted photo manipulated pictures of the students on Snapchat via an anonymous account, using existing software to make them appear nude. While Texas had laws to deal with deepfake videos, there was no regulation to punish the use of manipulated photos. The action took place outside of the school grounds, leaving the school district unable to take action, and the parents could not get the local sheriff's office to take action. Three of the students transferred to a different district due to incident. After several months, Cruz contacted. This came from Ted Cruz was the first proposed to Take It Down Act in June of 24 after a 2023 incident. It should not have. It says removal within. After several months, Cruz contacted Snapchat directly, and the photos were removed within an hour. Cruz said it should not have take a sitting senator getting the phone to take these down. If the students were Taylor Swift, they would have been pulled down and should be, but they also should be pulled down for every teenager in Texas. You should have the same rights, and that demonstrates that Snapchat knows exactly how to pull it down. So that's when they came up with the the Take It Down Act. This would make enforces the bill would be handled by the Federal Trade Commission. Criminal enforcement of law would be enforced on once passed, while serving would have a year from passage to introduce reporting systems to handle takedown requests. Um, because of these parents coming forward and talking to the senator and doing these things, this bill got put into place. These parents fought hard for their children, and there was even, it's crazy that anybody would think this would mess with your First Amendment rights, because it's not an issue. Like, why would you want anybody's news out there unconsensually to especially a child? Now, Senator Klobuchar had introduced beginning in 2022 the Stop Harmful Image Exploitation and Limited Distribution, or the SHIELD Act, which would bolster law enforcement tools to investigate and charge those that publish NCII with harsher penalties for NCII related to minors. The bill had passed through the Senate in 2024, but failed to pass through the House. But Klobuchar since reintroduced the bill in the Senate in February of 2025. So this was absolutely brought up way before it was actually actually introduced as a bill. But I don't understand why anybody would not support this bill. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense to me that you would not want this bill to pass, thinking it's going to take away. It's not taken away from your First Amendment right to be able to speak about anything. It's literally protecting children for sextortion, and adults included. It's literally making sure people can't do revenge porn and making it a federal crime to do so, because there are 2 states that don't have revenge porn things, and there's no way to get websites to take those down. Now you have a bill that says, yes, we can get those taken down from any internet site. So I don't know why anybody wouldn't want that bill passed. That makes no sense. And I don't know why people are spreading false information about that bill. That makes no sense to me. That literally makes no sense to me. Hey, twin mama love. Good morning. I did fall asleep on your live the other day, though. But I was there, but I was going. I was snoozing. I was there. I was snoozing. I did hit the like button, the share button, and all that good, lovely stuff before I fell asleep, though. But yeah, I don't know why anybody would spread false information about the Take It Down Act and claim that it is going to affect anybody's First Amendment rights. That's just keeping people from. I'm guessing that was spread falsely by people who want to be pedos and want to do things like that to people, because that's the only thing I can think of. Because that means harsher penalties for people who do that stuff, and for websites to be able to post that stuff. Like, you'll be able to get your revenge porn taken off websites. Like, the Take It Down Act was actually a very good thing. So I don't know who was reporting on that. They reported on it wrong. They didn't do their due diligence and read the bill itself. Or maybe they thought it was a different thing or something, but somebody's reporting false information. I remember when that bill first came and people were talking about it years ago, before they named it the Take It Down bill, when parents were fighting for it, because a lot of kids were getting sextorted and a lot of kids were unaliving themselves because of stuff like that. So I'm glad that they have something now to protect our children online from this stuff, and to be able to take down these posts from Snapchat, Kick, all these other things about our children, to protect our kids. You know what I'm saying? And adults alike, because it's not cool for somebody to post your your private pictures if you know, or even make up deep fakes about you. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine that? Now, I will say there's a lot of celebrities that need to use that to get some of them AIs taken down of them. Yeah, and that'll be, you know, some Orn stars are able to have their pictures removed from certain things because they didn't consent. You know, um, that just makes it to where a person can actually get that taken down if they did not consent for it to be put up. And I think that is a good bill to pass, especially for our children. More, you know, us adults, we're adults or whatever, right? But they have had a uptick of these scammers overseas posing as children, getting children to send them things they ought not to, and then using it to blackmail the kids to send them money or other pictures, and so they could sell it on the dark web. And these kids are unaliving themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I like there's a new thing that the pedos are doing, and they're doing it through that. Or they'll even make up AI photos of the kids and send it to them on their social media sites and say, if you don't send me the real thing, I'm gonna and pictures of you and your little siblings and your animals and do this to yourself and do that to yourself. I'm gonna spread this all over and I'm gonna tell your parents what you're doing on the internet. And the kid didn't even send nothing. Yeah, right. These are faked AI pictures. And of course, being a kid, you don't think about like adults think about, right? And so the kids aren't protected. The kids are thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to get in so much trouble. So they end up doing what the person wants them to do. And so if this can protect our children more, you know what I mean? And get things removed when things are done that way, I'm all for protecting our children and protecting adults who are, you know, you and your ex broke up and he decides to spread that your stuff all over the internet and you didn't ask for that. You know what I'm saying? And let's say he just mad at you or he was cheating on you, so you broke up with him. He says if you don't stay or he's abusive, you know, when you're in a DV situation, any of those things, or you were great and the person decides to spread that stuff. There are people who do that. You know what I mean? So, you know, protecting our children and in protecting people is a good thing. So I don't know who was spreading misinformation about the Take It Down Act. I don't know if it's because they hate Trump or whatever. Here's the thing, you know, when you got to tell the truth on things regardless, you know? Thank you, twin mama. um, you got to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Regardless of any situation. And this bill's gonna is actually a really good bill. So I would, if you see that anywhere, Miss Catherine, if somebody's spreading false information about that bill, tell them to actually look up the real bill. The real bill, not the misinformation they're getting on the internet. It's called the S.4569 Take It Down Act. And it's actually about revenge porn. It's not about your freedom of speech. It's not about you not being able to say what you want. It's about protecting people from revenge porn. Pretty much protecting people and children. And more so, that bill was created for children more than adults. Adults just happen to fall under the sections, right? But it actually was brought up for that simple fact. Now, I will see if there was another bill passed for that, but I don't think so. I found nothing about that on the internet whatsoever. I'm actually doing a looking for that. Now there is this thing called the anti-slap legislation, and we'll look at that and see what it's like. But there's HR 140, Protecting Speech from Governmental Interference Act, which is the policy that Congress that employees acting in their official capacity should neither take action within their authority or influence to promote the censorship of any lawful citizen. So there is, where we have our things. They did pass in March 9th, 2023, the House of Representatives passed H.R. 140, the Protection of Speech from Governmental Interference Act, so that people can have their freedom of speech. But I'm going to look at this anti-slap bill, and it's coming from Iowa, not from the president. Um, Also, the slap bill actually in Iowa um, actually protects free speech. Um, so that actually protects for people if somebody's trying to put a lawsuit on you, but you told the truth. That actually protects people for freedom of speech, and they don't have to pay for the lawsuit if the other party is suing you because you actually told the truth. So in this one, a reporter, a from the Carroll Times Herald, um, a Carroll police officer sued the newspaper after it reported that he had a sexual relationship with teenagers, which the officer admitted to. So it was true what they reported. It wasn't false reporting. And it says even though the newspaper won the lawsuit, it cost them $100,000, almost put them out of business. So this amendment would make it to where they wouldn't have to. Iowa lawmakers have passed the anti-slap bill, which bipartisan supportive in several previous sessions, but the bills have failed and gained traction in Iowa. It finally went through, basically, so that if someone tries to take you to court and you actually told the truth, you're not going to be out of pocket, um, and they're not going to be able to, it's going to make it to where they can't sue you for freedom of speech, and you were actually telling the truth. If you can prove you can tell it, we're telling the truth. So it protects media outlets when they tell the truth. So far, I've seen nothing that would take away from freedom of speech. Nothing that was passed. Um, they have one April. No, that's the Iowa. That's the that would be able to dismiss lawsuits that threaten freedom of speech and the press. So I'm looking, but I see nothing that says there was a bill passed that would hinder freedom of speech. And one that people are bringing up has nothing to do with freedom of speech. So I don't know what I would say I would correct that if you see a person saying that, Miss Catherine. That's a false narrative. But yep, that's all I see on that aspect. So yeah, don't see any more on that aspect. And they're still doing the Karen Reed thing. It's on day 22 of the Karen Reed trial. I see that still going. That is one thing that is huge on the internet, though, is misinformation. That is a huge thing that I see. Um, people hear something from one person like TikTok or something like that, and they report it as if it's true without doing their due diligence and as research. Um, that's like when people were talking about good morning. That was also a falsity because if you look at the etymology of um, the word morning comes from the word Morgan, which stands for dawn. So it said good morning. It wasn't talking about mourning as in grief. Grief is a whole nother thing. Good morning, and I will continue to say good morning because I know where the etymology of the word comes from. It didn't mean good morning, and you're not putting bad affirmation over your life because, first off, they're spelled differently. Second off, the where it came from in Old English comes from the word Morgen or something like that, Morgan, which stands for dawn. You're just basically saying good dawn when you say good morning. You're saying have a good dawn. It's a measurement of time. Just like mourning is actually a measurement of grief. You're grieving. They're two different words. They do not mean the same thing. It's like two words can sound the same but not mean the same thing. And I don't know who came up with that idea, who pushed that idea, but at least have something to back it with knowledge, actual knowledge. So I guess because somebody wanted to change and say Grand Risings, which Grand Risings is also cool. But you're not putting bad affirmation over your life to say good morning to someone. Morning just basically is a time, just like afternoon, night, midday. You know what I'm saying? Good day. You could say good day for the entire day. Good night to someone. Good afternoon. Good mid morning. Good morrow. That's something they used to say in past times was good morrow. And morrow stood for tomorrow. Um, but I heard that going around, and I heard Queenie 88 say that, and I did look it up, and I did see that people were saying that, and that was a thing people were spreading. But I want to dispel that rumor too, because misinformation is misinformation. You got to look at the etymology of words, where they originally come from. Hey, Watcher, good morning, boo. I was watching your show from last night too. I got about halfway in. About halfway in. Now, I will say this right here. Okay, that Bob fellow, I've never spoke on him. The only time I ever did was somebody came into my chat and said something happened to his channel. So I was telling the chat different ways that a channel can be taken, right? Different ways to break community guidelines and all these other things. I was just doing information, right? He claimed and went around saying I did something to your channel. Child, I never said I did a damn thing to your channel. Ever. I don't even know you like that. You know what I'm saying? Never really spoke on a man, but he is in my comment section every time you turn around, saying some negative ass shit to me. Bruh, you don't know me. Understand that. You think you know what you know because people have lied about me to you, but you don't know me. You know nothing of me. You've never spoken to me. You don't know me. Now, I don't know what's going on with Jura and Leanne and all y'all's damn situation. But if you don't know me, why the fuck are you harassing me? When I ain't said shit to you, about you, or for you. I don't go to your comment section and comment. Do I bother you at all? Do I email you? Hell to the no. Do I go in your comment section? Do I go to your live chat and say anything? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. So calm your little titties down. What I got with somebody else ain't got shit to do with you. Understand that. I really truly think he does, twin mama. Because think about it. Have you ever heard me talk about him really? Ever? Oh, we talked about him one time because somebody came in chat and said that his channel was gone. I was like, oh crap. And they said their reasonings. And I repeated it, right? And I was showing reasons why. But other than that, have I ever talked? Nope. But that motherfucker takes every chance and opportunity. I'm like, you as crazy as all fucking get out. Because I don't go over there and bother fuck. I don't go to their shit. Well, big titties. Yeah, I should say big titties. Whatever, you know. But when I don't go over there and I don't bother you, I don't talk to you, like, some people, I'll say this, they just love to start mess and drama so their name can be involved. And that's what they want. And I believe with this situation, that's what it is. I think they want their name to be involved in drama so they have something to talk about. Because they have no other content. They have no other thing to talk about in their life, and it makes them feel important. I really, truly think people do that stuff to try to make themselves feel important and like they're somebody. And I believe people do that because they like the drama. I think they like to be involved in the drama. And when they're not involved and when people are not talking about them, it makes them feel less than. And I think they want to be in it. I really, truly do. There are some people who feel left out and got to insert themselves. Like, why ain't you doing something to me? Why ain't you talking about me? I think that's the way they do. I really, truly do. And what's sad is without the drama, some of them could absolutely rise above and actually have good channels. But they choose that lifestyle because they're drama queens. Straight up. Now, me, myself, and I, if I wanted to be a drama queen, I could be. I very well could be. And I could do it. But here's my thing. I don't want to involve my life in drama every day of my damn life. I have more things going on and more life to do, and I go out and touch fucking grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to do that. I can create content just by sitting here and talking to my people. I could just create content by going over things, that's going on in real life. Things that are going on the news. Talk about bills that are being passed in the Senate and the House of Representatives. I could do commentary on, court cases that are going on. I can create content based on the Diddy trial or, content based on how to cook a pie. You know what I'm saying? On how to clean properly. On many different topics and subjects. That's called content. Get some. Just saying. And don't be a hateful ass individual. Shit. Why people be so hateful? They keep talking about that poor Dylan Rounds boy. It's so sad. He don't deserve. He's passed away. That child's no longer here with us. You talking about somebody's son, somebody's grandson, somebody's nephew, somebody's family member in a disparaging way, knowing they ain't here with us no longer, and you have no idea what they were doing in their real life. You're making up theories. Theories. They are not proven. Theories are not proven. You ain't proved it without a shadow of a doubt. And even if you did, why would you disparage someone that ain't living no more? Like, don't disparage innocent people who have passed away. Shit. Don't disparage children. Here's the thing. That same person you talking about, twin mama, has some shit happen to them, but they be talking about other people's children, other people's family, and think it's cute. Ha ha ha. It's funny it happened to you. You know what I'm saying? There's some evil people in this world. They got bad intention for others. And I don't have that in my heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that in my heart to wish bad on people. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it in my heart. If something bad happened, I don't mean I'm gonna cry about it or nothing, But that don't mean I wish it upon them. There's a difference. Like, I don't have that hateful bone in my body to wish something evil upon you. Now, if it happens, that also, if somebody catches you on fire, don't mean I'm gonna put you out neither. I might laugh and go on about my business because they ain't got shit to do with me. I shit. You know how there's some people that say you want piss to put them out if they on fire, and you might light your cigarette and walk on by, or cigar, or whatever you smoke, or if you smoke at all, you might light your candle off of it. Yeah, I might do that, but there's some people I wouldn't piss on to put out fire. I wouldn't care. But that don't mean I wish bad upon you. You know what I'm saying? If it happens, it happens. But I ain't the one that's gonna be wishing it upon you. I also really don't celebrate certain people, and I say certain people because evil people I kind of do. Um, I will say, I'm gonna say this, Miss Watcher. I think some people think that certain people are their friends when they're never were their friends to begin with. They were using them for one reason or another, right? Whether it be for clout, whether it be for so they feel like they fit in somewhere. And I believe that some people are doing that to people, you know. I believe that some people are lying about being cool with certain people just so they have a place to fit in. And it's super sad that you have to not be yourself and to try to make friends. I'm always myself. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, I like people when they're themselves. I love the fact that Watcher is herself unequivocally. She is who she tells you she is. I love the fact that Twin Mama is who she says she is. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't got to lie to kick it. They tell who they are. Everybody that's in this chat, most of these people in this chat, they don't have to lie to kick it. They are who they are. And either you like them or you don't. It's your option. They don't care either way. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna kiss your ass to make you their friend. If you don't like them, just oh well. That's all I gotta say. But there are people who do that stuff. And see, that's bull mess that nobody knows him like that because he got people in his real life. You know what I'm saying? People in your real life always know you better than anybody on this damn internet. Anybody. I'm gonna say there's some people here that know me fairly well. Fairly well, right? But you wouldn't know me as well as someone that's known me since I was 2 years old or 1 year old because you wasn't there during that time, right? You may know me fairly well, but you don't know what happened when I was 5. I'm just using a random thing, right? Like I have a best friend that I've had since we were basically born. They know me better than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Um, so you can't say you know somebody better than somebody else because you don't know that. You don't know sometimes who's talking behind the scenes or who's been friends for longer. There could be somebody you don't even know. You know what I mean? Consistency, that's facts, Watcher. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm always gonna be this person. I not what you see here is what you get in real life. I am always myself, always unapologetically myself. Because here's the thing: either you're gonna love me or you're gonna hate me, and either way, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Either way, I'm gonna be me. I don't know how to be anybody else but me. I don't know how to be some fake ass individual. Now, can I be nice in a chat with someone that I don't really care for? Yes, because that's called passing and going for the person that you're actually there for. Like, I don't have any problem with anybody in your chat, Watcher, because I have no personal beef with anybody, correct? But let's say there was somebody that came into your chat that I absolutely could not stand, did not like, for no apparent reason. That doesn't mean I can't go, have a great day. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean, as a moderator, I have to say hello to everyone, correct? And this has never happened in your channel because I don't have a problem with anybody that's in your channel, but I have had this happen in other channels that I moderate for, where there's somebody that came in that I absolutely can't fucking stand, right? But guess what? As a moderator, I'm professional. I greet every person that walks through that fucking door, right? And I'm going to, if they ask me a question, I'm going to give them an answer. Doesn't mean I have to like them. It's called being a good moderator. It's also called respecting the channel holder. You know what I'm trying to say? And I can't tell the channel holder who, you know, who to have in their chat. It's their shit. It's called passing and going. Sometimes you got to do that in life. You ever walked into a room and you saw somebody you didn't like, but you was in a public place and you couldn't say nothing? And you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. That's what it's like. You're like, oh shit, I don't like this motherfucker. But hey, how you doing? Mm. You know, in your brain you saying all kind of shit, but you in public, so you can't do it. I don't really speak in real life if I don't like them. In fact, I might cuss them out in real life. I will say that. But you ever just and just look at them crazy? I've done that too. But you know you like, I don't like that motherfucker with her as far as I could throw him. You just sitting there, or you got that one cousin you don't like at the family reunion, and you just sitting there looking at him like, I can't fucking stand your ass. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to start no mess because Auntie old as shit and she might have a heart attack. You're like, don't even speak to me. That's what I tell them. If it's somebody I don't like, now I'm gonna tell you this: if somebody I don't like, you'll know. I will be very short with them, and I will say, if I'm in public, I'll say, don't even look at me, don't talk to me, we not cool, and I'll walk away. I'm not fighting with them. I'm not, causing a scene. I'm just saying, don't speak to me, and I'm walking away. That's all they're gonna get from me if they get a word at all. If I don't just walk away while they trying to speak to me, because I've done that before too. I don't know if you've ever done that shit. Somebody try to speak to you, you don't like, you just walk the fuck away. Don't even say nothing to them. I've done that before too. Give them a dirty look and just walk away. I've done that before too. If I'm in a public setting and I know I can't start shit or I can't do nothing, like let's say we in a courtroom or something like that, and I don't like them, I just give them a dirty look and walk away. Like, don't even talk to me. But there's a such thing as on the internet, right? Especially on the YouTube streets, as what they call passing and going, right? As a moderator, you're supposed to, the way that I look at it, you're supposed to carry yourself in a specific way. You don't have to necessarily speak to them if you don't want to, but you're not supposed to, like, I'm not going to go over to Watch Her Crazies or Twin Mamas and start shit with somebody. Point blank, period. Not going to do that. Let's say I was a moderator for Twin Mama. I'm going to carry myself with the utmost respect because I'm a moderator and I got to do that. Now, don't mean I'm going to speak to the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that that's the way I do it. That's my way. And not everybody's going to do it my way. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool too because we all different folks, right? Different folks, different strokes. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be as respectful and, held myself to a higher standard because of that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't have any problem with anybody, technically. There's only a few folks, very few on my hate list, or not even hate list, my dislike list. Let me say it that way, because I don't hate anybody. I may not like your ass, but I don't hate you, because hate's a strong word. You know what I'm saying? And God told me not to have hate in my heart, so I dislike you a very, very, very lot. I really, 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 really dislike you. For whatever reason or another, whether it be you're a piece of shit human, you know what I'm saying? You're a bad person. You treat other people badly. I don't like people who go around and do terrible things to people and think it's okay. Like, no, I don't like that shit. For one, leave the kids alone. Always. I'll say this and I'll say this and I'll continue to say this. Leave the kids alone. Even if I got a beef with you, I'm not bringing your kid into it. I don't care if your kid's a grown kid. I ain't doing it. And especially minors. But, to even fix your mouth to say something about a kid, you should be ashamed of your fucking self. Because that innocent kid ain't got shit to do with what you and that other adult got going on. Ain't got shit to do with it. Leave the kids alone. 100. I'm gonna say this: we got a lot of folks running around here watching crazy that need to be put in straitjackets. We got a lot of people all over this internet that really need to be put in straitjackets. They need to go. They need to go seek mental professional help. We got a lot of folks that need that for real. I'm like, bruh, you need mental health. Like I'm not a professional and I can't diagnose you with anything. But bruh, you need to go seek therapy. You need to go get you. Somebody needs to 5150 your ass. There's quite a few folks on this internet that I'd say need to be 5150. They ain't right in the head. Bless their little heart. Bless them. Bless them. They're gonna make my sickly sweet southerner come out. Bless them, bless them. They ain't right. They ain't right upstairs, y'all. They ain't all there. There's a lot of people though here. If you think about it, we could probably make a list that's 2 to 3 pages long of people who need to go to mental health facilities. Yeah. And here's another thing. I hate when people make assumptions. Don't make assumptions about something. Because you make assumptions. And if you got something to say, fucking say it. I hate also when people roundabout way will dish you, but not tell you to your face. Say it with your whole chest. Your whole chest. Don't say it with a part of your chest. Say it with your whole chest. If I got a problem with you, I'll tell you straight to your face. I ain't got no problem saying it to you. And I like people who are like that, who are going to sit there and say it with their whole chest. Like, I like people who be like, bitch, I don't like you. I'm gonna tell you this. There's a lot of people. Like, I give people benefit of a doubt to a certain degree. Also, I got a question I gotta ask you later, Watcher. That's side the point. I'll let you know, girl. I'll let you know. It's a person I ran into. I gotta ask you about. But anyway, I don't be knowing everybody. But yeah, there's. I'll holler at you. I'll holler at you because I need to know if I need to run the other way or not. uh, y'all know sometimes I'm too nice for my own damn good. I be getting myself in trouble by being nice. I'm My one friend told me. Now I gotta tell you something. My one friend told me I'm too damn friendly. My one friend told me, "Girl, you need to quit being so damn friendly with people." Smack me upside the head, girl. She she said she was gonna smack me. One of my friends used to be the person. Now I will say this: I'm friendly to a certain extent. I'm a nice person. I'm gonna be nice to you. If you're good to me, I'm gonna be good to you. But if I see you do some mess up shit to other people and you treat other people like shit, we gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm not talking about when people have beef. That's different. Y'all two have a personal beef. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when people just continuously do that on a regular basis and not just a beefing situation. Like, I mean, you're treating innocent people who have done nothing to you, like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're sitting there taking money from people and you're doing just heinous acts. I can't deal with the heinous people. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. When I was in school, I didn't like when people did that to others for no reason, or like brought up people's mamas or stuff like that. Of course, we didn't have kids back then, a lot of us. So when people would bring up like people's innocent mamas and call their mamas B words and stuff like that, I didn't like that stuff in high school. I didn't like that stuff in elementary school when people would make fun of people's daddies or grandmamas. They ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I never liked that stuff then. Twin Mama said, just run and ask questions later. Hey, now sometimes I will. If you catch me running we in a public place, Twin Mama, you better run too, cause something's chasing me or something's bad and something bad done happen, and I'm running for a reason. Cause I ain't just gonna take off running for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm running for a reason, so you better run too. There might be a serial illa or a shooter or something, um, and I'm running for a reason. Like if I run, you better run. That's all I gotta say. Cause I ain't running for no reason. I walk to food. I walk to everything else. I ain't running unless I have a reason to. So if you see me running, you might want to run too. And if I catch you running, Twin Mama, I'm following behind, and I'll ask you later what happened. I'll be like, Twin Mama, what happened? What we running from? Like this is after, like we done run, right? And we done got out of the danger zone. I'll be like, Twin Mama, why we running? What happened? What happened was I'm that person that if I see a crowd running, I'm running too, because I don't know what's going on and I don't trust it. I ain't that person that goes, what's going on? Oh my God. No, that's that person that get got. In a scary movie. Have y'all ever noticed in a scary movie? Man, the other day I got so angry I got at a scary movie. I gotta tell you what happened. I was screaming at the screen. Why does them bitches always fall? They always fall. Them white bitches. And like they broke an ankle. That shit pisses me off. I'm like, you can't be that damn stupid. And then they try to either go into the basement or the attic knowing they ain't got no way out. I'm like, the door was right there. You could have left the whole house. Why did you run down to the basement where you can't get away? Why did you run up to the attic where you can't get away? There was a perfectly good window over there you could have got out of. Hello? Man, I hate them bitches that do that shit. You ever notice that about a scary movie? They always doing dumb shit. I watched the new Fear Street. They came out with Prom Queen because you know it's based on the books we read as kids, and they was doing some dumb shit. Or in the bathroom without a window. Yeah, they always going into the stupidest places. I'm like, there's a perfectly good window right there. You know what I'm saying? You could have busted out, got out, ran away. Now I will say I watched another movie. I forgot what the name of it was. It was Hard Eyes or something like that. I like that one girl at Hard Eyes. She beat the shit out of them people. Boy, she was fighting back, and I was like, hell yeah. Fight back, fight back. Don't be that little stupid hoe that gets got. Fight back, fight back. Hell yeah, yeah, yeah. Get them. I can't stand them ones that always follow her and go, oh my God. You're gonna totally. I give you like 30 minutes to swing at me. I don't even move out of the way with an axe. I watch you swing an axe at me, and I just lay there and take it. Hell to the no, I ain't gonna lay there and take it. I'm gonna roll out the way. I'm gonna find something to pop your butt with. Everything's a weapon. If I have to hit your head into my kneecap, poke your eyeballs out, I'm gonna do something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna just sit there and go, take me out of this world. You know what I'm saying? Like they be doing the dumbest stuff in horror movies sometimes. I'm gonna pick up a lampshade, a tire. You know, like if you're in a house that has um a dang it, why is that word always it's been my mind all morning? A fireplace. You know, there's a poker by it, right? Go look for that iron poker. If you sitting by a window, smash their head into a window. Like do something. Hey, Mr. Montrese. Like don't they be doing dumb stuff in the horror movies, don't they? And just they got weapon like right beside them. Right beside them. And they just sit there and go, oh, just take me out. Just I'm just gonna lay here while you swing an axe at me. I'm just gonna scream. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm totally not gonna roll out of the way and try to fight you, kick you in the kneecaps or something. You know, I'm totally not gonna try to fight back at all. It makes me, oh my God. And in the bathroom, do you know how many weapons are in that bathroom? You got the back of the toilet lid. Right, the back of the toilet lid's a good one. The sink's a good one. You can pop their head into the sink. You got soap in there. You could squeeze into their eyeballs. Right, you got hair soap, all this other stuff. You could squeeze it into their eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? You can slam their head into the sink, the toilet, whatever you got to. You can pick up the back of that toilet off there and swing it and pop them in the head with it. Like, I am not going down without swinging. I'm going down swinging, baby. If you taking me out, you coming with me. I ain't just going down easy. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be coming down with me. We going together. I mean, I might bleed out or whatnot, but you gonna come with me. We going together. hmm I ain't going by myself, and I'm not gonna sit there like no idiot. And go, you know what I'm saying? Mm-mm. Oh, I'll be laughing when they sometimes I get mad, Mr. Montrese, when they go towards the danger, and other times I be laughing. And I hate when they always fall and then try to drag themselves against the ground instead of getting up. Even with a hurt ankle, you can still move. And everybody knows that when you in an adrenaline rush, you don't feel pain. You can take off running when you're in an adrenaline rush and when you're scared for your life. People have done some amazing things while being under an adrenaline rush. That's true. Put something between y'all, whether it be the couch, the kitchen table, a chair, whatever you got to do. Another thing, arm yourself and realize that everything around you is a weapon. That's what I was taught. Everything around you. So while you sitting there talking and keeping your eye on them, don't take your eye off them. And here's another thing. When people get the iller down in the horror movie, they just stop. Like, I was watching the Terrifier one, right? The person stabbed him one time and just stopped. No, bro, I ain't stopping. Not till I know you down. Like, I'm going to continue until I know you ain't going to be able to get back up and hurt me again. I ain't stopping for you to be able to get back up and get me again. Nuh-uh. I ain't stopping. I'm going to make sure you down. I'm going to make sure you ain't getting back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, stab them in a spot they know that ain't going to unalive them, like in the side or something. You know what I'm saying? And then just stop and think they could get away now. No, you don't stop till you know that person down, and they can't get back up at all. You know what I'm saying? And then you make your getaway. So you know that you straight. I've seen it 50 billion times on them horror movies. When the person does fight back, they end up hitting them one time and then just, I'm like, Mm-mm. But see, we talking about horror movies, Twin Mama. We ain't talking. But even in real life, I'll tell you this. If you know it's not an ill shot, right? Make sure you do an ill shot so they can't get back up. But in real life, most people, if you shoot them in the side, they are going to stay down or something like that. But if you know this person's trying to ill you and that's their intention, that's a whole nother story. I ain't stopping. Not in a horror movie setting. Like, you ain't gonna catch me. I'm gonna cut your head off. Shit. Let me get a machete right quick. I'm gonna make sure you down so you can't get back up and get me. Shoot. But here's my thing. Okay, I always think about this too. When I see the little dolls coming at people and like the little bitty like evil children like in Pet Cemetery, why don't you football kick that little motherfucker? Like, I just think about football kicking them. Like, just they small enough that you can football kick them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm football kicking them. Like, when I watched, there was this one where I don't forgot the name of the movie, but it was a bunch of little like porcelain dolls, right? You could literally break open a porcelain doll right? You can bust it all up, right? So why not football kick the porcelain doll against the wall and bust it all to hell and back? Oh, also that movie about the doll. What was that one? Me and my husband just watched it the other day. Um, where she was watching the little creepy doll. It was the girl who played Maggie on Walking Dead, and she was watching the little doll. Now that the what? The boy. That one, that one actually has a crazy ending. If y'all ain't watched The Boy, I would totally watch it because it does have a crazy ending. I ain't gonna tell y'all the ending, but it has a crazy ending. So you should totally watch it if you ain't watched it yet. And Hard Odds is actually a good one too. That's a good one. We watched that one the last weekend or whatnot. So those two are good. Um Pretty good movies right there. Like Chucky, right? With Chucky. Okay, here's my thing. In Bride of Chucky, you've seen people take out Chucky before, right? Why not take his little behind, right? And just dismantle him. He's a doll for Jesus' sake. He's a doll. Football kick him, burn him, do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? He's a doll. He ain't stronger than you. You know what I'm saying? Take him out. I don't see why people be just letting little dolls take them out of this world and stuff. Annabelle, that hoe would have done got. Like Annabelle, I would have done ripped her arms off, her legs off, put it in different boxes, burnt her. Like she ain't coming back. I'm just saying. She ain't coming back. How's she gonna come back when there ain't nothing left? Just saying. I'm just saying, if you completely make sure ain't nothing but ashes left of them, how they gonna come back? They have to take over another doll of some sorts, and then you just do it to the next one and get you a priest out there and do you some exorcism on the doll. That's another thing on the Annabelle thing, right? They could have tied the doll to a chair, did the exorcism on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to get rid of you for good. You ain't coming back. Yeah, he got a knife though, but can't you take that away from him? Like, couldn't you very well take that away from him? Like, he a little bitty dog. You could football kick him into the wall and make him drop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he little. You bigger than him. But now I will say this. I'm gonna say, Michael Myers. It always killed me in the original Michael Myers how he could, like, he walked slow as hell, but I always catch up to the motherfuckers who be running. I mean, he be walking slow. Like he just be walking like a man with a purpose, but he's slow as hell. And he always catch up to those motherfuckers that running. They be running, man. I mean, running. And somehow he always, and they don't lose him. Like, here's the thing, I'd be done lost him if I was running that fast. He wouldn't know where I was at. I'd be on to the next town over. Like, he wouldn't know where I was at. So, like, something, it has to be something supernatural, obviously, in some of these movies, because, like, in the last Michael Myers, I don't know if y'all watched it, but they beat that mofo down, but didn't make sure he stayed down, and then he got back up and unalived all of them. I'm like, so y'all just stopped after he fell to the ground? And y'all know this mofo is a serial iller, and you know that he's got like supernatural abilities. You're not gonna make sure that his head is disattached from his body, and that his arms ain't no more, and that his legs ain't no more. They always looking back, and then they be tripping. They be tripping, twin mama. And they be tripping and breaking ankles and falling and then dragging themselves because they sprained their ankle. I'm like, you just sprained your ankle, bruh. It ain't like you got a compound fracture. You know what I mean? You just sprain something. You be alright. Take off. Like go through the pain. Like don't be a wussy. Don't be a bitch. You just sprained the ankle. It ain't like you got a compound fracture. Now I can understand dragging yourself on the ground if you got a compound fracture. You know what I'm saying? Or you broke something. But they just be spraining their ankle. Walk through the pain. Walk through it, baby. Self-preservation. You ever notice it's always they barely hurt their ankle too? Like they barely hurt it because after the fact they be walking good like nothing wrong with them. They stop limping and everything. I'm like, you just sprained your ankle, but you cool now, but you couldn't run from the person. You ever seen the ones that survive that stuff and they all of a sudden stop limping? I'm like, so you wasn't even that hurt to begin with? Really? Really? Okay. Okay. I'm like, bruh, can't even remember what ankle you was actually limping on. Come back. You ever seen if they cut it during one of those chase scenes and the person now limping on the wrong ankle? Oh, that shit's funny. And when y'all catch those, y'all need to laugh at those because you know that's a director issue. That's a movie issue. They be limping on one leg when they cut, and then all of a sudden come back limping on the wrong leg. That's hilarious. All of a sudden now it's the left leg and it was the right leg before. I'm like, did you forget which ankle you supposedly did something to? Sometimes I do laugh at certain horror movie tropes. Like, tell me that y'all couldn't get away from Michael Myers. As slow as he walks. As slow as he walks. And you could have done planned something to do something, right? Y'all see him as slow as he walks and whatnot. And then you hear people go, hello? Like the killer's gonna say hey back. Like me and my husband got a thing sometimes when we watch them when people be in the horror movies and they go, hello, hey. Like we be acting like we say hey back to the person. Or they ask questions and you answer back stupid answers. That's a fun thing to do during a horror movie. Watch a horror movie and do that next time. I bet you laugh. I bet you laugh. Like all of a sudden the person goes, hello. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Totally not over here hiding behind this wall. Don't come look over here. As they're steadily walking towards the danger. They're steadily walking towards where you know the iller's at. And so what you say is, totally not over here hiding. Yeah, that's the funny stuff right there. I be laughing at some horror movies because they're so stupid. I mean, it's so dumb, and you know it's dumb. And then other ones I get mad at because it's so stupid. Yeah, I'll be sitting there. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. I can feel it from your heart. All of a sudden, you start singing, and they always doing dumb stuff. Oh my god, I cut myself on the broken glass that I knew was totally there. And like I didn't take something and make sure I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I totally had a saw blade over here that I could have did something with, but I ignored it and walked right past it. I totally had an axe over here and I had all these amazing weapons that I just walked right by. I just walked right by them like they wasn't there. Oh my god, there was a machete right there. I just totally walked by it. I didn't even look at it. I ran away. That's the part that kills me is you know that they know, and the cameraman is the one that lives. They always say so. It's either the cameraman or the virgin. I can't be the virgin no more. I have a kid, so I got to be the cameraman. It's either the cameraman is the first one to go or the last one to go in most tropes in horror movies. Hey, Stiffy Love. They ain't gonna catch me in a horror movie. I'm gonna tell y'all that. I'm gonna be the one that lives. I'm gonna be the one that destroys. See, that's the thing though. If you watch most horror movies, you can usually call who gonna be the who the iller is. You can usually call what's gonna happen in the next 5 seconds. Oh, they're gonna turn around. The killer's gonna be right behind them, like right behind them. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna round this corner right here, and they're gonna be right there waiting on them. Like you can call that stuff sometimes. I like the ones where you can't call it. Where the ones where stuff like that. I like those horror movies. Hello from the other side. I don't know why that also just came to mind, Twin Mama, when we was talking about them saying hello. You know what I'm saying? Mm. Also, I really like that the heart thing with the hands thing that you're doing, Stiffy. That's cool. How you been doing, Stiffy? Everything been cool with you? Now we were sitting over here talking about the horror tropes and how people do dumb stuff when they in a horror movie. And you could just call it out. You're like, why'd you run up them stairs? Don't be no fool. Don't be no fool. They always doing dumb stuff in horror movies. I swear to God. I was sitting there. I've watched a few of them recently. I will say that did better in the horror trope field. They did make it semi unpredictable on certain things. There was one, Thanksgiving was pretty good. Who I didn't suspect the killer at all. Like I didn't suspect that was the person who did it. I was like, oh snap. You know what I'm saying? So it was actually really good, I will say, in not figuring out who the person is that's doing it, right? I will say Hard Eyes was pretty good because it did have like a twist that you wasn't expecting. Um, you may have suspected some things, but not everything, right? Or you suspected the wrong person. But it was not what you expected. It was actually pretty good. I also like to see when the people fight back. Like fight back. Don't be no fool and fall down and go, oh my god, yes. Take me out. But I am supposed to get off here in a minute because I gotta go figure out what I'm gonna cook today. I don't know what I'm gonna do today, but I gotta do something. And I just want to say that I love you all and thank you all for being here and thank you for hanging out with me today. And I hope you all have the best possible day ever. I love you all. All right, bye.
I'm from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood to the day that I go from the TUPELO. I'm reppin' my hood, so love I'm gon' show from the TUPELO. E-L-O. I'm ripping my hood to the day that I go.
I'm from the west side, we don't need no introduction, this was the best ride. We all big boy rolling and holding, come take a test drive. Hilldale, Evergreen, Glenkirk, Adder Street, bending every corner on the west, and that's where I'll be. Sunroof back, Captain C banging down 1800, chunking up the deuce to my post slanging down on 1800. Show no love to the ladies that's training round on 1800, making time stand still, crystalline swinging down on 1800. Watching out for them knuckleheads that be stanging round on 1800. Big rims and low pros be blanging round on 1800. Better completely change the way you're thinking about around 1800. Really hate to see you boys get left slanking around 1800. Out of street got some history, just let Captain C lay it out. If I don't finish it all on this one, let the second verse break it out. Remember the blue were promising OG standing back there by 60 deep. Bull walking, Charles Blue, a big Anthony using P.
I'm from the T-U-D-E-L-O. I'm ripping my